Sergey KARAGANOV, many thanks for being with us on WPC TV. You are the honorary chairman of the Council of Foreign and Defense Policy in Russia.
Exactly.
And you, I thought, made some very interesting interventions yesterday on the subject of the Middle East. How do you sum up the situation on Syria, where the Russian position at the beginning was entirely different, obviously, from the Western position, and yet there seems to have been a sort of meeting of minds, prompted perhaps by the chemical weapons issue?
I think the Russian position was based on competence. We knew what would happen. We knew there would be no democracy there. We knew that it was a religious, sectarian fight there, and we knew that it is actually if Assad is thrown away, that Al Qaeda types will win. So in the end, our friends in the West understood that after spending several months criticizing Russia.
But of course, the counter-argument would have been that if there had been a no-fly zone, etc., which would, of course, I suppose, have needed a Russian acquiescence in the UN.
First of all, I mean, we have already a no-fly zone experience in Libya. Libya has collapsed. Yeah. It's a non-state, it's a failed state, if you wish to call it a state, and it spreads instability all over. We are not willing, and we have not been willing, the same fate for Syria, because it's even closer to our borders. And all terrorists international is already there, coming from Afghanistan, partly from Libya, by the way, partly from our own country and from France.
And partly from Europe.
And partly from Europe. Yeah. And if the country falls apart, I mean, there will be several, quasi states which will spread instability all over the region.
Do you think that there will be a fragmentation of Syria?
I hope that if there will be a fragmentation of Syria, still there will be some strong central power, be that Assad or another dictator.
I asked the question because Dominic Moisy argued that we are seeing now the collapse of the frontiers set out by the colonial powers in the early part of the 20th century.
Unfortunately, that will be happening over the next decades, all over the area. Those borders has been artificial, and now there is nobody to prop them up. I mean, the West has retreated, Europe has retreated, the United States is retreating. So, and all hatreds, sectarian differences, etc., are returning back. And also, by the way, the masses are much more active than they used to be. So they're influencing the policies of their states, while the states are unable to face the masses.
Well, let me give you an impossible question. The stress from a Russian point of view is stability. How do you get a stable Middle East now?
I mean, there's no, my answer is very simple: no way. The question is how unstable, and the question is whether weapons of mass destruction are there, or whether we withdraw them or deter them. That is the only question. The question is now managing instability and crisis, and it's better that we do that together with our Western and other colleagues, rather than doing it against each other, replaying the big game of the 19th century or the Cold War. It is fantastic when you read and listen to the debate. It's insane.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think finally that conferences such as this one help towards finding solutions?
At least the conference like this one, and I must say that has been a great success, is bringing in people from different parts of the world and influential people, and they spread the new understanding that there should be compromise and that we should work together. Interesting enough here, I haven't seen any confrontation, though there were Israelis, there were Egyptians, there were not Syrians, but even Iranians. I mean, and nobody, was at an Iranian throat normally. So that is a good the world is moving in the right direction, at least for the time being. Well, and Russia is not being criticized. I mean, but acknowledged that she my country has been wiser.
On that very civilized note, Sergey KARAGANOV, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.